I'm here with Coach D from Monroe College. How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great.
How is the freezing cold weather in here?
The freezing cold is awesome. My nose is running.
Great. You took a number of players from us last year, is that right?
Yes.
How did they do?
Players did very well. We had our goalkeeper, very good, Mark Ware. He was great all season. We're one of the only programs that has a goalkeeper coach, so he did very well there. The keeper coach loves him. So it was good. A lot of the players, some of the players are in the academy.
Right.
Those players did very well. Also, they'll be going on, they'll be moving on next year to some of the Division III schools next year and some of the NAIA schools next year. But their experience has been really good. So far, it's been great.
Okay, cool. Now, at a showcase event like this, what are you really looking for from the players in order to impress you as a coach?
Couple things. One is physically they have to be up to the task. So I say the difference in the college game at a high level is everybody's quick, everybody's strong. There is room for a balance if you're exceptional, you're really technically gifted. Okay, then maybe you don't have to be as physically dominant. But for us, speed and strength is a big deal.
Okay. And what do you think about the biggest adjustment for, let's say, an international student athlete, like what you're seeing here today? What's the biggest adjustment for them coming into the collegiate setup?
I mean, there's a number of things. We could talk about on the field things. You could talk about just adjusting to life and adjusting to a different schedule, a different country, different food, the whole 9 yards. So it's a little bit different all in all. I really think that the first semester, which is about 4 or 5 months, if they get there in August and they stay till December, that's really the first semester. That's the hardest transition they have. And once they come back from Christmas, they're good. They're no longer missing their girlfriend, missing their family, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit easier. The weather is an adjustment, right? When they get into preseason, if it's humid and really hot, usually the first week and a half, 2 weeks, they don't play as well, and they just have to understand that it's really about the weather. And then once they get used to the humidity and everything, then their bodies adjust and they start to play much better. And as far as adjusting to the play, there's a lot of good players out here today that we've seen. A lot of kids could adjust, pretty simple. But at the same time, you make sure that your fitness is really top when you get there, because the one thing you don't want to do is come over and have a low fitness level when a lot of the game in the U.S. and the college level is fitness dominated, so you can't come over at a low fitness level.
And would you say that kind of generally European kids struggle more with that than the American kids? No,
I think that I think it's up to the individual. Some of the European kids come in great shape, and some of them maybe don't come in as great shape. So it's up to the individual.
Okay. And what about the academic side of things? How do you see the international kids coming in and dealing with that?
Well, we have international kids from all over the world. I mean, one of our things is we have a lot of kids from Brazil and Argentina and Latin America, and from a football standpoint, that's awesome because the kids get to play with kids from all over the world, and it helps their game and vice versa. But as far as the UK in general, they seem to be very disciplined and very good in the classroom, and nobody's missing classes. They're good with a routine, and part of the deal about being successful is you have to be good with a routine. And you play for 2 hours a day, you make sure you have your study time every day, and you go to class. If you can get into that routine, and you don't get hooked up to the Xbox and maybe some of the girlfriends on the side and this and that. Yeah, the Skype, all this kind of stuff. You really got to stick to your routine, and you're going to be great.
Okay. So let's say you were trying to give advice to student athletes who are participating in our showcase in 2013. What would be your top 2 tips in order to impress you as a coach from Monroe?
I would say play within yourself. Don't do too much. Do what you're good at. And also for me, a mistake's not a mistake until your reaction makes it a mistake. So for me, attitude and character is a big deal as well. I don't want to hear kids cursing and pointing fingers at other players. I just want them to go about their business, and I want to see a great work rate. I want to see a kid who's happy, a kid who's excited to be here, excited to go overseas, and we'll take it from there. But that's kind of, I don't know how every program is in the States, but for our program, we're like a family, and it's really important for me, the way players conduct themselves as people, and make sure that they're good people as well as good players, and that's all we ask for.
Okay. Well, Coach, good luck recruiting.
Awesome.
We hope you get
Thanks.
some more players from us.
Okay.